Good morning. I am excited to tell you guys about a slight change that Mrs. Tams and I made over the weekend. We want you guys to know, first of all, that we appreciate all of the hard work you're doing, parents and students. This isn't what any of us really asked for to end the school year, but we appreciate all the work we've been getting and all of the compliments and the happy thoughts that you guys have been really encouraging. And also, we've gotten a lot of feedback, and we want you guys to know that we've really considered what you're saying, and we're trying to take that into account as we continue our planning. So, Mrs. Tamps and I have talked quite a bit, and we've decided to change our calendar up starting today. And it should help with several things. So the main plan is that our calendar is going to start switching every other day between English and Spanish. So essentially it's going to be like going back to what we did at school. It's going to be much more, this is a Spanish day, I'm just focusing on this work, and this is an English day, I'm just focusing on this work. Now, with that change, that means hopefully our workload should be a little bit lighter, ours and yours. If you are on a Spanish day, then you just have to think about doing that Nearpod lesson and your Viking research and IXL, those things that have been assigned to you in Spanish. And it should take less time that way. On an English day, your workload's going to be pretty much the same. It's going to be some math pages. It's going to be some reading time, a journal, and then a different activity at the end. The one thing that I will do differently is since I only have you every other day, I'm going to ask that you do math pages and then a math lesson on iReady on the same day, but you guys can do that. So it should potentially lighten your load quite a bit. It should also help us. We've been struggling a bit with the amount of work coming in. It's just a very different teaching platform. And while we are used to teaching all day, we're quite used to that. It's different having messages and things getting turned in all day and constantly needing to track things down and record those. And it's kind of been a lot. So that will give us time for a day of recording, and then the next day, when we're not the number one teacher, will be kind of our prep day where we can prepare lessons and do grades and make phone calls and reach out to you guys in different ways. So we're excited about that. With a new calendar, there are just a couple other things we wanted to mention. I'm thinking number one is that those Zoom meetings, while my old calendar said that they would consistently always be on a Tuesday, now they're probably going to switch because I may have English on a Tuesday, and the next week I would probably have it on Monday, Wednesday. So just watch for that in the calendar. I will still plan on having Zoom meetings once a week, and then Mrs. Tams plans on starting those up too in Spanish, so that'll be fun. Another thing to be aware of is how critical it will be at this point for you to stay caught up on your work on those days. So if it's an English day and the only work you have is English, it needs to get turned in at the end of that day. Just the very best you can do on that. Same goes for Spanish. If it's Spanish, focus on it, get it done, do your best on your Spanish that day. The next day, let it go. Focus on your English. But it will be important for everyone, for us and for you guys, that you try to stick to this new schedule as closely as you can. A really important reason for that, parents especially, as teachers, we are required to take attendance still. And that seems really weird. It feels kind of counterintuitive to me because none of my kids are here. But we need to know that our students are getting engaged every single day. So whether all of their assignments are done or not, turn in what's done. If for some reason you had an absolutely crazy day and they just couldn't do a thing, then we need a message from parents saying, hey, it was a really crazy day. We'll work on making that up. Just wanted to reach out and let you know. Because we have to mark down that we had contact with everyone, okay? So that will really help. And something I will do is, now that we're doing kind of every other day schedule, I'm going to really look at who did I not hear from that day, and then try to give them calls or messages, reach out to them the following day and see what's going on. So that's one thing. And the last item that we talked about, which would help a lot, is sending things to our email as much as possible. I'm sure you guys have noticed some of the issues with Blooms. It's great. I'm glad we have the program. I'm glad we can post and reach everyone that way, but things tend to get lost. Sometimes with multiple messages or people commenting, it gets lost in the feed. The exact same thing happens with my personal messages. I just miss things sometimes, and I don't know how I missed it. So as often as you can, try to turn things into my email or to Mrs. Tams's email. She's talked about how she spends a lot of time going back and searching through all these multiple platforms trying to get your work gathered, and it's been really time consuming. So that would be a help. Besides that, let me make sure I've gone over all my points here. Every other day calendar. So your responsibility is really only to check in with one teacher every day, whether that's English or Spanish, but that needs to happen. Should help reduce the workload for your students. Try to keep track and follow that calendar as closely as you can. Use emails. Zoom meetings will change days. And I think that's it. So good luck. Today is an English day. Look in this post. The new calendar is there. I would suggest printing it out. It's for the next 2 weeks. And after that, new calendars and even packets will be going home. I know this week I'm going to start preparing our next set of packet papers and a calendar to go with it. All right, hopefully I hear from lots and lots and lots of you guys today.